It was the night of October 8th, 1871. Chicago was a booming city, but it was a city built almost entirely of wood, houses, fences, and even the sidewalks. After a long, bone-dry summer with very little rain, the entire city was like a tinderbox, waiting for a single spark. The fire began around 9 p.m. in a small barn owned by Patrick and Catherine O'Leary on DeKoven Street. Legend says a cow kicked over a kerosene lantern, though historians still debate the exact cause. What isn't debated is how fast it spread. A strong wind from the southwest caught the flames, carrying glowing embers across the neighborhood. The firefighters were exhausted from a smaller fire the night before, and a series of mistakes led them to the wrong location at first. By the time they arrived, the fire had grown into a firestorm. A massive wall of heat so intense that it created its own wind, sucking oxygen from the air and melting metal. Panic gripped the city. People ran into the streets carrying whatever they could grab, fine china, musical instruments, or just their children. The fire was so powerful that it even jumped across the Chicago River, burning down the city's waterworks and leaving the firemen with no water to fight back. For 2 days, the fire marched through the heart of Chicago. The wealthy business district, grand hotels, and thousands of homes were swallowed by the flames. Thousands of terrified citizens fled toward the shores of Lake Michigan, standing in the cold water just to escape the scorching heat. Others headed north, crossing bridges just moments before they collapsed into the river. The nightmare finally ended on the night of October 10th, when a steady rain began to fall. As the smoke cleared, the sight was haunting. Over 300 people had lost their lives. More than 17,000 buildings were gone. 100,000 people, 1/3 of the city's population, were homeless. The story of the Great Chicago Fire didn't end in tragedy. It ended in a revolution. Architects from around the world flocked to the ruins. They decided that the new Chicago would be built of stone and steel instead of wood. This led to the birth of the modern skyscraper, turning Chicago into the architectural masterpiece it is today. Today, the Chicago Fire Academy stands on the very spot where the O'Leary barn once was, a symbol of a city that learned to fight fire with progress.